Hey. Welcome to Talk Tuesday. If you've been here before, welcome back. If it's your first time, Talk Tuesday is our weekly segment where we go over tips to help you enhance your finances. I'm Coach D, and I want to help you to reach and exceed your financial goals while still enjoying life in the process. So, we do this weekly by going live, talking about different topics related to your finances. So, last month was Financial Literacy Month, so we focused on different things in relation to financial literacy, just going over different topics. This month, we will be focused on debt. So, we're going to talk about debt. So, today we're going to talk about what is debt and what else do I have? And different types of debt. So, that's what we're going to talk about today. Hey. Thank you for tuning. Thank you for hopping in. I appreciate you. So, let's get into it. What exactly is debt? Debt is something that is owed to someone. And being a financial coach, I want to talk about, when we have a debt financially. So that would be when we owe money. And usually we owe money because we get debt or incur debt to buy something that we couldn't typically afford otherwise. Now, I know some people, have debt or, get into debt for other reasons, which could be maybe you're a little more strategic about it, and maybe you get into debt to, get those rewards points on your credit card or, to get those miles or something like, you know what I mean? But usually when we have debt, it's not because, we're working towards something. So that's why we're going to focus on that. Hey, thank you for tuning in. Yes. Thank you for tuning in. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So, if we have debt, a lot of people have debt. Sometimes, it's a little harder to get out of it, but it is possible. If we create the right plan, we can get out of it regardless of how much it is. It just might take a little longer than it does for others. Okay. Hey, thank you for tuning in. All right. So let's get into two different types of debt. So the first debt is secured debt. So what is secured? If you know, let me know in the comments. I'm gonna keep talking, but I'll check in the comments to see if anybody was right. So a secured debt would be a debt that you have to put up collateral for. So just to give you a couple of examples, would be a mortgage. This type of debt, you are signing on that when they give you the money to, get the mortgage to pay for your home. If you don't pay them, the home is going to be taken from you. It will be their home. Another one would be for an auto loan. You're signing with the understanding of they're going to give you the money to pay for this car, but if you don't pay it, it's their car. They're coming to get it. So that's what we mean by collateral. By collateral. Another form could be, one we don't think about often. Sorry, my Wi-Fi. One we don't think about often would be maybe like a pawn shop. That's debt because you're giving them an item for them to give you the money back. And if you don't give them the stuff back or you don't give them the money back, they're keeping your stuff. And usually at a pawn shop now, they're going to give you like, the bare minimum as far as what your item is worth. But that is a form of secured debt, whether we think of it or not. Another secured debt is like a starter credit card, which are literally called secured credit cards. And those are the type of credit cards where you have to pay money up front to the financial institution, and then they put that money on a credit card, and you're actually using the money that you put up front for on the card. So that's your credit card is really like a prepaid in a sense. So that's a secured card. So if you don't pay that, the debt when you slide the cards as we normally do on credit cards, then they keep the money. So that's how that works. So if that's what gives you an understanding of secured, so the opposite of secure, can we guess? Unsecured. So unsecured debt is when we have a debt that does not require collateral. So it would just depend on what type of unsecured debt it is. So just to give you a couple of examples of that, you might have a store credit card. So that one is like, when you go into the store, or even a regular credit card. So both a store credit card that's specifically for a certain store. We can only use it in that store, or a credit card, a Visa, Master, Discover, American Express, things like that, or you can use, wherever. But those are based on your credit. So how it depends on how much, how good your credit score is, which will depend on about how much they give you, your interest rates, and all that specifics. But we're not talking about credit. We're talking about debt. So For unsecured, it would just be based on that. So you are able to get those kinds of debt just based on your credit alone. Let's say I had some other ones. Um, Personal loan. So personal loan, that's another type of secure unsecured debt, whereas it doesn't require you to put anything up. They're going based off your word. Again, that's based on your credit. You go to the bank, like, maybe I need a personal loan. I'm working on something. You tell them. Sometimes they ask you what it's for. Usually they ask you what it's for, and you tell them. You apply for it, and then you get it. Another form could be a medical bill. Sometimes we get medical bills, although we don't think of that as a debt, but that is a debt. It can accumulate. It can get really high sometimes. That is a form of debt, and they're giving that to you. They're not going to make you pay the thousands and thousands of dollars that it might cost for that, that visit right then and there. Prime example, I went to Quest the other day to get some blood work done, and they gave me a bill. It was like $3,000. I was like, what? But that actually, my insurance will cover that. But it was just like, I guess it hadn't went through the insurance, or I don't know what happened. But either way, they didn't ask me for that money up front. They went ahead and did what they had to do, and that was the end of that. So that's an example of unsecured debt. Hey, thank you for hopping in. Hey, ladies. So we're talking about debt today. So if you missed it, go back and watch the beginning. We talked about unsecured debt and secured debt. Now we're going to move over to two more things before we go. So we're going to talk about revolving debt and installment debt. So revolving debt is what? A debt that revolves. So revolving debt is a debt that you'll borrow, you'll use it, you'll pay it back, and you can borrow it again. So that is your credit cards. That is what else could be a revolving debt? What do I have? Oh, home equity line of credit. So we borrow on the equity of our home, which is a line of credit. So my home, let's say my home is worth 300,000, but my mortgage, is down to 200. Well, if my value is at 300, I can borrow that 100,000 in between. So they'll let me borrow that, and I'm paying that back. I'm paying that back. So I'm paying that back to the whoever. And you don't always have to get it from your, original lender either. But again, that's neither here nor there. See, I keep going off topic. But you can do that. But anyway, so you'll use it. You can pay it back. You can use it again if you so desire. Now, installment is a little bit different. So installment is I buy something, or I get some debt or a line of credit. I use it, I pay it back, and then we're finished. That credit is finished, and that's similar to your mortgage. Once you pay it back, in full, that's it. You can't borrow from that again. The same as an auto loan. When you get that car, you get that I'm about to say mortgage, that auto loan. Once you pay that car off, you no longer owe that anymore. So that's the difference between the revolving and installment. And I hope that was, beneficial to you to help you understand. Yes, this month we're focusing on debt the whole month long, but it's important for us to understand what exactly is debt. And we discussed in the beginning, it's something that's owed, something that we borrow that must be paid back. And this month next week we'll go into good debt and bad debt. Well, I'm not going to tell you all the topics, but all month long we'll talk about debt. So if that's something you want to hear about, tune in. We're live every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern. If you tuned in late today, we talked about um, what is debt, and we gave 4 different types of debt. So hey, Tyra. So it was beneficial. Awesome. So thank you. So, all right. So I thank you for tuning in. I'll see you all next week. Same place, same time, 6 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, Enhancing Your Finances. Again, I'm Coach D. I appreciate you for tuning in. I hope this is beneficial. That's my desire for you to learn something, gain something, and be able to, use what you learn, to enhance your finances. So have a great evening, and I'll see you soon.